We have to hit a hyper beam. We have to hit a hyper beam with Eliki. YouTube, today we're going to be trying out a brand new team up featuring Latios that got second place at the Taiwan National Championship. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, really does help me out. And if you want to check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and you can grab the rental code on your screen. It's based off of a Latios team we used actually a couple of episodes ago. So I'm pretty interested to see how Latios and a few slight changes will fit the dynamic of this team. But let's get started and play some games. Groudon, Lunala, Charizard, Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Gastrodon. Okay, it looks like Rinya's son, but there's just a Lunala. Because you normally don't see Gastrodon on the Lunala Groudon builds. Pretty interesting situation we have here. I want to double check my Latios. It does have Energy Ball and Icy Wind, which could be a factor because I could see myself leading like Latios plus like quite a few things here. Do I even like Snorlax? I don't have Darkest Lair on the Snorlax, which is the awkward part. Otherwise, it'd be really, really good here, because I'd be able to counter the Lunala pretty safely. I do want to bring the Latios 100%. I'm pretty sure it does do well. It's not exactly amazing here. Of course, they have to be scared by Yveltal. Yveltal's really terrifying for them. I probably like the four of the Snorlax, the Latios, the Zacian, and the Landorus. I just don't know which order I exactly want to go right here. I think I'm probably fine with just leaving Latios here. Latios plus the Zacian actually seems pretty good to me for the most part. And well, actually, no, I do want Yveltal. No, I 100% want Yveltal. Maybe no Snorlax in this matchup, which I don't think it's necessary. It'd be nice, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think I'm just going to bring these in the back because, again, I think Yveltal's really solid against my opponent's team. Latios can get the speed control up, which is really solid here. And maybe I could get that Gastrodon, because one of the answers, I guess, to my opponent's team for the Landorus is going to be the Gastrodon. If I could snipe them with the Energy Ball if they don't expect it, would be a really, really solid right here. But we'll see. Going to be Incineroar, Grimmsnarl. Okay, so they lead Incineroar, Grimmsnarl. That's okay by me, I think. I don't really mind this too much right here. I'm going to be able to get the boost, but I am going to get intimidated. Then their Grimmsnarl is going to really do what it wants. And I guess that's a little bit problematic because I don't exactly know what my opponent really wants to do here. They could go for Fake Out. I don't really see the point of going for Fake Out for the... I guess they could go for Fake Out. I mean, I think my best play is just to go in the Landorus right here. And maybe just Behemoth Blade immediately or sub here even. I don't really like the sub play, because it doesn't really get me much. I think I'm just going to protect here. I'm going to protect and go out into my Landorus, because the Landorus gets an Intimidate off into the Incineroar and Grimmsnarl, which is really nice here. Unless I'm getting punished by like a foul play or maybe a trick here, it's not really that bad for me. I wonder what kind of Grimmsnarl set this is. If it's the trick set, it's going to be a little bit difficult to handle. Otherwise, any other set should be like really reasonable for me to handle. It should be like Fake Out plus Reflect here, I'd imagine. A Fake Out does come out into the Zacian. It could have been Punish on the Zacian too. I would have been able to see that. Ooh, Spirit Break into the Landorus. Okay. So they get a Spirit Break off in the Landorus. That's actually kind of weird because it activates my White Herb immediately. I would like to save that a little bit more, but not a terrible position realistically. I could go for an Earthquake if I want to. I could just go for a Rock Slide and Behemoth Blade. And I really don't mind if I go for a Rock Slide Behemoth Blade, actually. Like, the damage is actually pretty significant into the Grimmsnarl. Could be the difference between me picking up and knockout. I could also Earthquake and switch out here. Yet I don't really like the loss in momentum, really. And I do kind of want to get rid of Grimmsnarl before it starts Thunder Wave or just really screwing over my team for the most part. So we're going to see Reflect here. That's completely fine. We will get a Behemoth Blade off into the Grimmsnarl right here. And as long as I don't position this too dangerously, I should be good. We do get a huge hit into the Grimmsnarl. Ooh, I don't think Rock Slide's actually going to be enough. I do get a Rock Slide off. If I do flinch the Incineroar, though, we're actually in a really fantastic spot. If we don't, yeah, we do miss a knockout on Grimmsnarl. Looked really close there. Parting Shot going to come out into Landorus, I imagine. Yeah, Landorus. Okay. Now the question is, what are you going to bring out? Because that's a pretty important question. Are you going to bring out the Groudon? I mean, not the Groudon. The Charizard right here if you have Charizard. Because I could see Charizard. Maybe you brought both Restricteds instead. But I could see not bringing Lunala here. It's a very questionable one. I guess we'll find out. Groudon's actually going to come out, which is actually really ideal for me because Groudon, of course, being one of the more difficult Pokemon to handle right here. Okay. So I'll definitely take the Groudon coming in. It's not as dangerous of a Pokemon for me to handle. I have a few ways to probably maneuver here. I kind of like the idea of switching out here into the Latios or Yveltal here. I kind of like Latios more because I don't think I want to risk my Yveltal on a Spirit Break. I'd rather risk Latios if anything. So I think Latios is probably the play here. Also, I would like to get another Intimidate off if possible. And then I kind of want to either take the knockout into the Grimmsnarl or just go for Behemoth Blade damage into the Groudon. I don't know. I don't think the Groudon's firing off of Precipice Blades here, realistically. I think it's going to do something else. So I'm going to Behemoth Blade the Groudon. I think it's more likely that they just go for an attack in the Landis, maybe a Heat Crash, or maybe they even Dynamax or Sword Stance here. I can definitely see those as options, but Light Screen's going to get set up. It looks like no Dynamax, which is completely fine by me. I'm going to be able to get a huge Behemoth Blade off into the Groudon. So even though this is like at neutral attack plus Reflectus up, this should still do a nice about 20 to 30%, which is still pretty good damage. Yeah, that's really respectable damage, and that matters for Dynamax as well. A Fire Punch actually going to come out into the Latios slot, so that's perfectly fine here. A really good position for me. Okay, and I don't know what your set is. That's my question. I have no idea what your set is. That's a very big question mark right here. I could go into Yveltal, because if I go into Yveltal, I do have... I don't know if I want to go into Yveltal. I could also go Landorus here, which is also pretty respectable. I'm just worried about Scary Face and Thunder Wave right here. Yveltal covers Scary Face and Thunder Wave pretty respectfully here. So Yveltal is probably like an option here. And I guess I could just go for another Behemoth Blade into Groudon and get more damage off. And I kind of like that, actually. I don't know if you're going to Spirit Break here. If you Spirit Break, that's actually kind of difficult for me. But I feel like you would rather get the Speed Control since Grimmsnarl could just get knocked out here. I will see if that's the case, though. A Dark Aura on the Yveltal on deck. Oh, Taunt actually into the Zacian. Okay. So I can't sub or protect the following turn. I'll gladly take that. It's just Shadow Claw though from the Groudon. The thing is, I weakened a lot of their members right now. Like the Incineroar is a bit weakened. The Groudon has taken a lot of damage. So Charizard is probably their Dynamax option. Oh, that's really bad. Stone Edge. Hey, that's not good at all. Okay, that's not even that bad. Taunt on the Grimmsnarl is interesting. So it's Taunt. We saw Reflect, and we want to say Light Screen and probably Spirit Break. So I think this is actually a pretty good spot, actually. Do I need Yveltal to win the game? I mean, it's ideal, but it's not necessary, I guess. It really just depends, I think, on what my opponent has in the back. But I think it's Charizard at this point. I think I just foul played a Groudon here, and I think I just go for a Sacred Sword into the Grimmsnarl slot, because Incineroar could come in here, I guess. We're going to see the Groudon switch out, which is probably into Incineroar. Yeah, that's okay. All right, that's not too bad. I get a KO into the Grimmsnarl here. I get a foul play off in Incineroar, and then I could just bring in Landis for another Intimidate round, which seems pretty solid. I guess if Charizard gets to set up here, it's a little bit frustrating, but we'll find out. I guess the question is, does Charizard set up? I don't exactly have the best answers to Charizard. The foul play going to come out into the Incineroar right here. Okay, yeah, Charizard could actually be a bit of a concern right here if it does come in, because now it gets a free Airstream boost. Yeah, Charizard is revealed here. Okay. I got to figure something out here. Last turn of Sun, but they can just go back into Groudon, I'm assuming. Latios could be a play here. I could see myself going to Latios. Landorus is also a play. This is really difficult because they're probably attacking my Yveltal and maybe a Flare Blitz coming out here as well. I don't exactly have a good switch right here, unfortunately. So I might have to just let Yveltal go down, probably to an Airstream here. So I'm going to Sucker Punch. And I don't want to let... I think I have to go Landorus here. I'm going to go Landorus. I need to Intimidate off into the Incineroar, and I need him to respect the Landorus. So, not exactly a great position, I think, for the most part. I probably should have tried to figure out a way to get the Latios in safer. I didn't think they would actually go for the Stone Edge, though. I thought they were like Shadow Claw or something, but yeah, that does make sense as well. I think I needed to get the Latios in so I could get Tailwind up. I was just too worried about like a Scary Face and a few other factors that could have made this really difficult, but since they didn't have Thunder Wave or Scary Face, I think it was just better to actually just get the Latios in and click Icy Wind or Tailwind up, because if I had that position, it would just make this game so much easier. Now I'm probably going to be paying the consequences right here to an Airstream and a Flare Blitz. A Fake Out, that's better, I guess, into my Landorus. Okay. A Sucker Punch into Charizard, really nice. Okay. as we're gonna see Airstream. Yep, Airstream is gonna come out. It's gonna tar down the Yveltal. I guess this isn't too bad. I was expecting the Flare Blitz, so this actually gives me a window of opportunity here, I suppose, because I can get Latios in, and depending on who they target, this is gonna be really big. So the Yveltal does go down here. The sunlight does fade, which is actually pretty important, because if they want to get the sun up, they have to go into Charizard again. So I think I go Latios here always, and now I think I have to take the gamble of who they attack here with. Like, who are they targeting with the Charizard? Are they going to go for the Latios, or are they going to go for the Landorus? If I get this read right, like if I get the Tailwind, like I always go for Tailwind here 100%. The question is, what am I doing with the Landorus? Did I reveal Protect at all? I did not. So if I max guard here on a Wildfire, I probably can win the game with a Rockfall afterward. Yeah, I kind of like that. Otherwise, I would have to... Oh, they're not hard switching here? Huh. They Airstream my Latios. Does that even pick up the knockout? I'm actually kind of curious, because I feel like it doesn't, but maybe I'm wrong. We do Dynamax the Landers here. All right. I mean, I'm expecting them to be the... What's it called? I'm expecting the... Oh, what's it called? I'm expecting the Charty Berry coming up, so I don't knock out the Landers. I mean, the Charizard, but they do Airstream again. Okay, if Latios can take this, we're in a good spot. And Latios does survive. It does have really good special defense. Okay, we should be faster than Incineroar, I think. And if we are faster than Incineroar, it is beautiful, I think. They went for a Willis actually into the Landers. Oh, that's really good for me. Okay, that's really good for me. Okay, I do get to tailwind up with Latios. That's a huge one right here. Okay, that's a big thing here. Okay, I'm gonna Icy Wind here, or so my Landers is faster, and I think I always Quake. Yeah, I always Quake here. They're not gonna hard switch, I think, into the Incineroar. They're probably gonna go for an Airstream or Wildfire here, so I always go for the speed control here. And oh, they actually did switch out into Groudon. I didn't think they were switching to Groudon here, because if they switch into Groudon here and I double into the Charizard, it's a really weird spot for them. Although this is still very doable, I suppose, because I do get an Icy Wind off at least, and then I get +1 special defense on the Landers. But do I survive the Charizard attack is the big one. If I survive the Charizard attack with the Wildfire, I think I win the game. If I don't, then it's just a lose, I'm pretty sure. All right, Max Quake. This is a huge one into the Groudon here, which is going to pick up a knockout because the Groudon was weakened earlier. Okay, really huge depending on what this Charizard does, because I need to survive here with my Landorus right here. So should be Wildfire, I'm assuming, here into the Landorus. Yeah, it's Wildfire. I do have +1 special defense, and we are in Dynamax, but we were weakened earlier. Oh, that's so much damage. I think we're going down, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going down, unfortunately, and I don't think I'll be able to come back in this one. Oh, I didn't think they would switch out, because like if I just Rockfall to Charizard, they didn't have the solar power, and then they would have lost the game. I think they probably didn't expect me having Tailwind and Icy Wind. They thought they were just going to outspeed regardless, and since Latios can't threaten the Charizard. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. All right, Zacian coming in. I mean, I do have an out, I guess. Yeah, I do technically have an out. I mean, I do. It's not a good out, but I mean, I do have an out. I'm going to go for Protect here with my Zacian. I'm going to Sacred Sword the Incin. It has to KO, and then afterward, I have to, because this is the last turn of Dynamax here for the Charizard. I still have 3 turns of Tailwind to work with. No, I only have 2 turns of Tailwind to work with, right? Oh, that's really bad. Okay. So I protect the Zacian here. I mean, I'm gonna have to hope for 2 Blast Burn misses. That's basically what this game is gonna come down to. I need 2 Blast Burn misses. Fake out into the Zacian. Should be Blast Burn. Yep, no reason not to. Just build up the damage. Yep, okay. I don't even know if Behemoth Blade KOs the Charizard. Probably not. I mean, with Solar Power Chip, maybe. But yeah, this is not looking good. Like, really. I need to dodge 2 Blast Burns right here. Reflect wears off at actually the perfect timing right here. Okay. Yeah, so I can Sacred Sword the Incin, pick up the knockout, and then it's going to come down to Charizard versus Zacian, and can I dodge 2 Blast Burns? Sacred Sword does KO the Incin, okay. We need a Blast Burn dodge now if we want to stay in this. Blast Burn, we do dodge 1, okay. Okay. One more, Zacian, one more. Actually, if I'm going for the blast burn dodge anyway, my optimal play here, I mean, hold on. Let's turn. Okay, so my optimal play here is to technically, is it to sub here? Or is it to protect to build up? I mean, protect doesn't do anything. I think it's always sub because I don't know how bulky the Charizard is in the Behemoth Blade rolls right here. I think it's better to go for the sub here anyway. Because if I'm going for the dodge anyway, I might as well just go for the sub. They do land a blast burn though. Okay, a good game. I think I did mess up this game. Giving them the free switch to Charizard when not having my own speed control basically screwed me over. They gave me an opportunity with the fake out since they did have with the fake out with Instant. I just didn't capitalize as well, unfortunately. And yeah, I guess I should have probably just Icy Wind Rockfall, huh? I was just really worried about like maybe a potential Max Guard parting shot, but then again, that was like their last turn of Dynamax. I think they had to go for the big attack there. So looking back at it, maybe I could have just went for the Icy Wind Rockfall, because if I went for the Icy Wind Rockfall, I get rid of the solar power, which is really big because the solar power wildfire. That means even though I don't have the +1 special defense boost, I should probably be able to take that Charizard attack really well. And then I've got enough damage to Charizard, and then maybe Zacian could just clean up in the end game since the Groudon's already weakened as well as the Incineroar, and I still have probably one more turn of Dynamax with Landorus to work with. Oh, Groudon, a Power Herb, Lunala, Trick Room, Meteor Beam, a Wide Guard, no Protect. The Charizard didn't even have Max Guard. Okay, it was Blast Burn, Heat Wave, Hurricane, and Ancient Power. Oh, then sub. I guess sub didn't change anything then. Yeah, sub wouldn't have changed anything because I went for sub because in case the Behemoth Blade went for Behemoth Blade didn't KO the Charizard at that range, they would blast burn, take the recharge turn, and then I get 2 hits off basically. So that's why I went for the sub right there because of the recharge opportunity if I didn't KO with Behemoth Blade. The Wisp, no fire move instant. Oh, that's why I didn't go for Flare, because that makes so much more sense. I forgot they had Will-O-Wisp too. I thought they just dropped it for the Dark type move, but they had the Dark type move apparently. And then leftover is Gastrodon. So yeah, looking back at it, I think the few mistakes there was the Latios not being in the right position. I think that was a big one because the Grimmsnarl didn't have any speed control, right? Yeah, it revealed Taunt, but I think it revealed Taunt after I switched it out the Latios. So I probably could have got Latios back in and tried to accomplish something. Even just an Icy Wind to slow down the Charizard could have been really big for the most part. Groudon, Lunala, Venusaur, Tapu Fini, Thundurus, and Incineroar. Okay, pretty standard stuff right here. This could go really a bunch different ways. Now, I do kind of like, what do I like offensively here? Because I don't, I want to bring the Snorlax every time, but the Snorlax does not have a dark move on, well, on this version at least, because it is double-edged curse, which actually would be really cool if it was like a other Trick Room team like Calyx Ice Rider. Snorlax would actually go crazy here, but since it's Lunala, I definitely have to bring the Yveltal instead. So what is my lead here? Because I like Latios, I like Yveltal. They actually dish out quite a bit of heavy damage, so I kind of like it in general. Zacian is also like a very big considerable one here, because Zacian Behemoth Blade would just do a ton of damage regardless. So I could see myself leading Latios plus the, I think Latios plus the Yveltal or Latios plus Zacian is pretty effective here. I think I'm going to try out the Latios plus the Yveltal lead here. I don't expect them to lead Fini against my team, but maybe they could. Landorus and the Zacian in the back. No Charizard to deal with is actually really comforting though, because Charizard is a Pokemon I would definitely be more scared of. I do have probably a decent matchup against Charizard, but it really just depends because I feel I can match the speed. But I mean, I guess Thundurus could actually be scarier than Charizard in this case, huh? When I think about it, because of the fact that it's harder for me to switch into the Landorus more comfortably if the Thundurus is out. So I always have to be a little bit scared of that Defiant possibility. Let's find out what my opponent is going to bring here. It should be Defiant Thundurus on this team. I would be very shocked if it wasn't. Thundurus, Tapu Fini. Okay, they lead to Tapu Fini, but this is actually pretty ideal still. Unless the Fini is EV to outspeed base 110s after an Airstream, which it definitely could be, but it does take quite a bit of investment. I think we're in a pretty good spot to just click Tailwind, and I think Foul Play. I think Foul Play is just fine. Just dishing out damage into Thundurus. I don't need Yveltal to win this game. It's a good threatening Mon, but I do have other things that can put on pressure. So let's go for that Tailwind immediately. And let's go for a Foul Play into the Thundurus. Or should I Oblivion the Tapu Fini? No, I should Foul Play the Thundurus. Because I was thinking like, oh, I could icy win the next turn and go for a foul play into the Thunderous anyway. That would allow me to pick up the knockout guaranteed into that Thunderous. But at any case, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because even if they go for that, like, the thing is they also have like some other factors that could be considered. Like, I could Oblivion Wing the Feeny for health if that's the case, if they go for an Airstream. But if Yveltal goes down, I need a way to knock out the Thunderous afterward, and it's not exactly as easy. So I think I'd rather just get the foul play damage off. They do go for a max Airstream into the Latios, so they do want to try to get rid of the Latios. That looks like a Life Orb Thunderous, I want to say. Let's see, because I feel like regular Thunderous would miss a knockout with not proccing the Sash. Yeah, it's Life Orb. Okay, how fast is the Feeny though? It's not as fast. Okay, nice. So we do get the Tailwind up. Pretty huge for Latios. Okay, so we do get the Tailwind up. We do get a foul play off into the Thunderous. Really solid damage overall, and we're gonna see a Moonblast come out. Also, who are you targeting? It is into the Latios. Okay, so nice. I'm able to get the free swap here, and yeah, this is actually pretty good here of a position. I can go for quite a few things here. Zacian can come in, and I definitely do want to bring out the Zacian. I want to Dynamax the Yveltal, because I could see myself Dynamaxing the Yveltal. Like, a Behemoth Blade into the Tapu Fini and Airstream is actually like a pretty safe play for the most part. I could also just Behemoth Blade the Thunderous, but I feel like I could also sub here. Sub is actually not a bad play either. You know what? I kind of like sub, huh? Because there's also a chance Instant can come in for the Tapu Fini slot, and a max guard from Thunderous. If that's the case, I would rather just go for the Airstream. I'm gonna, you know what, let's Airstream. I think having Yveltal around, if it is endgame, just having the Airstream boost just seems really solid. I also want to substitute up, because unless they're doubling my Zacian slot, I don't think they'll be able to break the sub here, so I might as well just go for it. The Yveltal should be able to take the max lightning, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how they're gonna play around this, because I think Incineroar could be like one of their switches here, but looks like they're saying with both. Is this a max guard and something? Like, I'm also worried about potential Icy Wind Tapu Fini. If it's Icy Wind Tapu Fini plus a max guard from the Thunderous, that could also screw me over. That's why I want the Airstream and the sub play here, but let's see. Because I don't know, would you really give up your Thunderous to a Behemoth Blade and the Fini doesn't really get much accomplished afterward? I just feel like that's not it, but looks like they did attack with both. Okay, so I am able to get to the... Alright, so I am able to get the sub up. I do get the Airstream up with my Yveltal into the Tapu Fini, which is actually some pretty nice damage overall. I don't think I could ever lose my Yveltal or my Zacian here. Let's see. What kind of crazy move can the Tapu Fini have that could change it? They do go for a Lightning this time. They target down the Yveltal. Okay. So yeah, Yveltal absolutely eats that up. We should be able to eat a Moonblast, I think, especially with our Assault Vest on the Yveltal. Unless the Tapu Fini specs, but it looks like it has bulk. I don't think it specs. A Life Orb chipping away. They do go for the Moonblast once again, and we are able to survive. Yeah, that's what I would think. Okay, it's leftover Tapu Fini. Okay. This should be fine here, I'm pretty sure. I think this is where I just get a Behemoth Blade off. Yeah, like, even Zacian behind a sub is just so threatening to them overall. And oh man, it looks close, right? I'm pretty sure the Moonblast looks super close. I'm just gonna go for an Airstream and Behemoth Blade again. If they go for a max guard, that's fine as well. Like, it doesn't really change much here. So I am gonna be able to get... Oh, they go for a double protect. Huh. Isn't that really bad for you, actually? Because next turn I don't even have to Airstream. Wait, I don't get the double max guard, actually. I guess... Oh, I guess they were scared of me Dynamax moving the Thunderous and Behemoth Blade the Fini. I guess that could have been a thing too. I guess they were afraid of offensive Yveltal this time around. Okay, that actually works out huge for me, because I do get an Airstream boost once again. Now my Yveltal is going to be faster than the Venusaur, which is actually pretty big. And now this turn, X Darkness in the Thunderous seems pretty safe. I should be able to knock out the Thunderous, and a Behemoth Blade should be able to allow me to knock out the Tapu Fini. I don't think an Airstream would be really close. Now I don't have to risk the Moonblast, so this is really ideal. Behemoth Blade and the Max Darkness here into the Thunderous seems so good here. Unless Incineroar comes in finally, but even if Incineroar comes in, like, I'm pretty sure that even if that's the case, like, I still have a Zacian that's still very, very capable of just winning the game right here. So we'll find out. I just really like this position, especially because, I mean, it could be weird in the upcoming turns, because I might have to call Protect But we'll find out. We do go for the Behemoth Blade. We are going to target down the Feeny, and that should be a goodbye Feeny here, which is really nice here. Okay, that's really, really good. The Feeny goes down. Excellent. It's just the next turn is going to be a little bit questionable because the top of the Lunala Groudon, if both of them are in the back, like any other combination, I think I should be able to win. Other than Lunala Groudon, which I think requires me calling it Protect potentially. So we do drop the Thunders right here. Okay. This should... Let's see. If it's not Lunala, we're celebrating, but Groudon does come in. Okay, that's one of the two. Oh, it's Incineroar. Okay, perfect. Okay, Landers should be able to win this game now. All right, excellent. So this end game, I protect my Zacian and I foul play, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I give them no room to really get a setup going. If they protect Groudon, it's fine. I get a free switch to Lando, and then I can click EQ and a few other things. Yeah, so I just protect here with my Zacian. Or do I even protect? I could just go on the offensive, but I don't want to attack into Groudon protect and then the Incineroar breaks my sub. I feel like that's actually kind of bad. So yeah, I'm going to foul play the Groudon. I don't think I need to hit off an Incineroar just yet, but we'll see. But yeah, we will protect our Zacian. Actually, maybe I should have got a hit off into the slot. They fake out my Yveltal, which is fine here. Okay, what are they going for? Fire Punch. They target down my Zacian. Okay. Actually, I guess now I can target down the Incin. Yeah, since my Yveltal survived the turn, I can now go for Oblivion Wing plus Sacred Sword. Should knock out the Incin. I guess unless it's a very specific Incineroar set with Chople Berry. But if it's Chople Berry, that's fine. Then Lando comes in, I click EQ, and I should win the game because I should have Lando next to a partner. Because they can't knock out Zacian and Yveltal on the same turn. There's no possible... Actually, there is one possible way. Eruption Groudon. But I don't think they're clicking Eruption. We already saw Fire Punch. A Sacred Sword into Incin. Really nice damage. Perfect. Actually, if it's Berry, does it live? Okay. No Citrus Berry, no Pinch Berry. Oblivion Wing going to come out into the Incineroar. Does pick up a knockout into the Incineroar. And yeah, that should seal it right here. Because I'm pretty sure Landis just wins now. Okay. That is really good. Incineroar goes down. And the Groudon going to go for Fire Punch. They target down my Zacian. Okay. Then I just click sub and I click foul play. And then I just win the game. I mean, I should win the game by just clicking Behemoth Blade. I mean... Actually, yeah, I'm just going to click Behemoth Blade. I would click Behemoth Blade anyway, I think. Because there's no point of subbing. Unless I... Like, I think I just guarantee the win by just attacking this point, especially with Landis in the back. And if we were to play a best of 3, I think this... If the Groudon doesn't survive the combination, then I don't have to reveal, like, who is in my back, potentially. Which I think Landis is probably, like, expected, but who knows? They don't know that 100%, so I might as well. Foul play plus Behemoth Blade. I don't think this picks up the knockout. Actually, no, it just does. All right. Foul play from Dark Aura Yveltal is pretty scary. And we are able to secure the game. Really nice. Latios. Ooh, boy. Just, I think getting the damage off into the Thunders. Yeah, being able to get the Tailwind up, outspeeding the Tapu Fini, get the Tailwind up with the Latios. Sure, the Latios went down super early, but just getting that Tailwind up was absolutely huge because I was able to get the free switch, and that free switch into Zacian, get the free sub up with my Zacian, really be able to pressure the rest of their team. They weren't able to stop my Zacian from really just going for like +1 Behemoth Blade, dishing out a huge amount of damage. Was able to pick up the quick early knockouts with the Dynamax Yveltal, and then in the end game I felt like I was pretty comfortable with my Landorus, my Zacian behind the sub, and of course the Yveltal that was able to survive the turn. So seemed like it worked out, and yeah, I was just able to really just outspeed and put on the pressure. Seismitoad, Talonflame, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Kyogre, Rillaboom, and Thundurus. Okay, a very hyper offensive team. I want to imagine this is Quick Guard, Talonflame with the Seismitoad for the Aggressive Glide, Rillaboom coverage. Latios Energy Ball. Now that could actually be interesting. We could also match Tailwind here. My Yveltal is also really solid in this matchup. I got quite a few things that are actually pretty solid here. I don't know if I want to bring Eliki yet. Eliki is actually really good against my opponent's team. There's just like a few things that I might want to consider, like Landis for Intimidate, because the Seismitoad could be like really threatening. Max Geysers would do a ton of damage. So that could be a little bit scary right here. I think I want to go with like Yveltal plus Latios right here lead wise. And then in the back, I'm thinking Eliki is super strong here with Zacian. Landis Airstream though is really tempting. I mean really tempting. Because I guess I don't know if they would bring Rillaboom though. I'd imagine they're going to bring their Kyogre. I imagine they're going to bring the Seismitoad. Talonflame is a maybe. And then the Yveltal is going to be a pretty big one. Actually, Snorlax could be a good one here with Yawn. I just wish I had like Darkest Lariat. Like having Darkest Lariat as a backup for the would be really nice. I think it's Eliki. The only concern is I might need to save Latios specifically because Latios might actually be one of my most important Pokemon to deal with their Seismitoad. So I actually might have to preserve my Latios just so I have a way to deal with my opponent's my opponent's Seismitoad right here. Let's see how this match goes. We'll see what they lead here. Gonna be the Thundurus and Calyrex lead. Okay. This is kind of interesting. It really depends here on... Oh boy. This is definitely not what I expected initially. Do I expect this Calyrex to be Sash? I guess that's the question, because if it's not Sash, I could just go for the Sucker Punch and a Tailwind right here, and that would be really effective here. However, I just don't know if it would be Sash here, because Eliki is so good here though. Eliki is so good here. I think I go for a Sucker Punch. I think I go for the Sucker Punch attempt and I just Tailwind here. Because I don't know who the Sash is on their team. I could also retreat the Latios here. Sack the Eliki. It's not a bad play here. But yeah, I think I will attempt to Tailwind. If it's Sash, it's still playable because I still have Regieleki in the back. And Regieleki can still go really in against my opponent. But it's really going to depend on these upcoming turns. We're going to see a Dynamax come out from the Thundurus. It looks like it's going to be Defiant Thundurus. So we might actually not see the Seismitoad here. If there's no Seismitoad, it's probably manageable for me here. But we'll find out, because if I get the Sucker Punch off into Calyrex and it's not Sash, I'm in a great position. And it looks like we get a Sucker Punch off. Are you Focus Sash? You are Focus Sash. Okay, a little bit unfortunate right here. But who did you target into? Because this is also another important factor. Astral Barrage should be coming out, but the Thundurus is the main one here. Did you go for the Airstream or did you go for something else here? As a Astral Barrage does come out, does target down my Latios and my Yveltal. The Focus Sash will activate on the Latios. And we will get the Tailwind off first. Wait, that Thundurus is slow. Or it's adamant for some reason. Okay. We see a Max Lightning into Yveltal. That's actually the perfect position for me. I really don't mind this. Yeah. That's actually really, really good for me. Okay. I will gladly take that. So they don't get a... Man, this is really good for me, actually. They set up the Electric Terrain for me. They set up the Electric Terrain for me. I have a... Regieleki with Max Lightning that can just dish out a ton of damage here. Yeah, this is really solid for me. I guess I didn't expect a Sash, which is very fair here, but yeah, this ends up working out perfectly for me, as now I can go for... Do I want a Rising Voltage here? I feel like I could Rising Voltage, or I could just Dynamax here and attack, I suppose. I kind of want to go for that Max Lightning into the Thundurus for sure, and I guess the question is, do I double up the Thundurus? Because doubling up the Thundurus isn't a bad play here, I guess. It's not, but I mean, Psyshock is just super safe here into the Calyrex. Or maybe even Energy Ball. I could Energy Ball. Although Psyshock probably hits more here. So I'm going to Max Lightning the Thundurus and I'm going to Psyshock. Is that Thundurus actually like a bulky Assault Vest set that's slower than... Like, it's not max speed, that's for sure. And that's just like really rare for Thundurus. So I imagine it has some kind of bulk set. If the Calyrex protects, it's not that big of a deal, because then I just get a free switch to Zacian, and unless they want to Airstream, but if they Airstream, I'm still faster with both my Pokemon, then I get double knockout the following turn, so that's not even that bad for me here. We are going to see, it looks like there is a Protect. Okay, I wasn't sure this was in Prison Trick Room, because I could have seen that set on this team, especially with how hyper offensive it plays. But here's a Max Lightning and Electric Terrain. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Thundurus. It does confirm to be Assault Vest. That is the only way it would have taken a Life Orb. Max Lightning right there for my Eliki and Electric Terrain. Psyshock going to fail, and Airstream is going to pick up the knockout into the Latios. Okay, yeah. All right, Latios, you did do really well here, though. The Tailwinds and the Focus Sash, they were not expecting. That ended up being really huge for me, because now, pretty sure I just get a free Lightning off, and I get a free... Well, let me double check. What's my speed stat on this? It's fast, yeah. So I do outspeed Calyrex here. So I just Behemoth Blade the Calyrex slot, and I go for a Lightning here. Actually, there's like so many ways I can do this. They don't have Incineroar, right? So I could just like Lightning the Calyrex slot, and I could go for the Behemoth Blade into the Thundurus slot, and they just really don't have a safe switch here. And I also play through Protect. So yeah, we're going to go for a Max Lightning here into the Calyx slot, we're going to go for a Behemoth Blade into the Thunderous slot. And I guess the upcoming turn could be a little bit questionable, but I think I have like really safe plays for the most part. Let's find out what they do here. Okay, no protect, so I am able to get the Max Lightning off. I do KO the Calyx, and then Behemoth Blade at +1 should just knock out the Thunderous easily here, even if it has some bulk right here. Like a Behemoth Blade through Dynamax is just absolutely insane with this Pokemon. So Behemoth Blade is going to come out into the Thunderous right here. Let's see, can we pick up that knockout? Because the knockout would be pretty nice here. And then what's the back? Yeah, we do pick up that knockout. All right, who are your back to Pokemon? I'd imagine some form of Kyogre. We also have one more turn of Max with Eliki, and the Eliki is going to fire off some really strong hit here. We're always going to get a free Max Lightning off into the Kyogre slot. And then Kyogre Rillaboom would probably be the trickiest position, but even if it is that case, I think we're fine. Seismitoad, okay, and this has to be Kyogre then, right? Yeah, it's Kyogre. All right. I wonder if it's Scarf Kyogre, because if it's Scarf Kyogre, it just goes down to Max Lightning. The Seismitoad, I guess, could be a little bit scary, I suppose. Ooh, I guess that could be scary. I definitely want to Max Lightning the Kyogre here, and I think we always Sacred Sword here. Ooh, this could be a little bit tricky if this is Earthquake on the Seismitoad. If it doesn't have Earthquake, I think we should just win the game. But if it is Earthquake, it would be a little bit troublesome. But yeah, we're going to go for a Sacred Sword here into the Seismitoad and Max Lightning. Because if that is if it's Assault Vest Kyogre or if it's Choice Scarf, which I feel like on a hyper offensive team, it definitely can be. I'd rather just pick up the knock on a Kyogre. Oh, Kyogre is Protect. That's really not good. Okay. So it does have Protect. I could have doubled up the Seismitoad, but I don't think I could risk Choice Scarf, Kyogre, Water Spout here. I do a lot of damage to the Kyogre though, but it really just depends on can Seismitoad pick up a knockout here even. Because if it can't pick up a knockout, I probably just win anyway. I might have to hit a Hyper Beam, but we'll find out. I'm going to be an Earth Power. Okay, does this KO my Zacian right here at full? No, it does not. Okay. We have to hit a Hyper Beam. We have to hit a Hyper Beam with Eliki. And you might be thinking, why do you have to hit Hyper Beam on Eliki? It's because the Swift Swim on the Seismitoad basically enforces that situation. So yeah, I mean we could go for the Rising Voltage in the Kyogre, but Kyogre could get the double protect and we would lose off that. So I'd rather just risk the Hyper Beam here and Sacred Sword to Kyogre. Let's see. This could be really important. Kyogre does go for the double. Yeah, that's what I expected. That's why Hyper Beam is going to be really good here if we do land into the Seismitoad. And it looks like we do land in the Seismitoad. Okay, really nice here. A Hyper Beam is going to be fired off into the Seismitoad. And that should pick up a knockout, I'd imagine, with that Life Orb. Yep, Seismitoad's not exactly the super bulkiest Pokemon. So we're able to eliminate the Seismitoad. And then Sacred Sword is going to be into the Kyogre's Protect. But I don't think that the Kyogre can possibly survive this Sacred Sword coming out from the Zacian at +1 at this point. Just don't be Quick Claw Kyogre and we're fine. Just don't be Quick Claw Kyogre and we're fine. We click Sacred Sword here into the Kyogre and should be super safe here. I hope. Unless it's Kyogre. Well, no. If this is Max Defense Kyogre for some reason, it probably lives the Sacred Sword and Origin Pulse in the range should be enough to finish off both my Pokemon. So that's what it comes down to. Sacred Sword into the Kyogre does finish off the Kyogre, and that is going to be a good game right there. Ooh, that turn one could have been tricky. If I guess then I should let Eliki plus the Yveltal, because if I let Eliki plus the Yveltal, I probably could have just went for Electroweb, Foul Play into the Thunderous, the immediate. Although I think if it's a bulky Thunderous, it probably survives that combination realistically. Although Electroweb would still do a decent amount, and there's also the chance I could have went for a Max Strike. I don't remember actually what's stronger between Max Strike and Foul Play or Electroweb there. But to lower that speed on the Thunderous, make sure Yveltal speeds it, activated Define on purpose. It's at +2, then a Foul Play. But Foul Play through Dynamax, it does do a lot, but I feel like I don't KO with an offensive Yveltal. But it could have actually put me in a better spot. Like Latios would have actually been really good in that end game right there. So it's definitely a possibility I could have went for. So yeah. But Latios thankfully trooping with that Tailwind. The Tailwind was actually really huge right there. And yeah, could have been really big for the Seismitoad lead. I was really scared of the Seismitoad lead or them trying to match Tailwind Talonflame. But instead, it just got the Tailwind up, which was pretty important. It drew the attacks away with the Max move. And yeah, then the rest of my Pokemon were able to do really well, especially that Eliki once they set up the Electric Terrain for me because they had to get rid of Yveltal. And thankfully that my Eliki was just powered up because they had to get rid of Yveltal. Such a huge threat to them. And that is the show. Overall, Latios, oh man, there were so many different scenarios where Latios, if my opponent didn't respect it as much, man, it would have been able to do a lot of work. Energy ball for that size with Toad game. There were a few moments where Latios could have really went offensive there, but that focus sash and players really just hardening down the Latios as a threat, but at least it was able to usually get tailed up in most of the games. Man, it really did put in a lot of work right here. If you did enjoy today's video though, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. If you want to check out the details of the team and the creator, down below in the description, and you can check out the rental code and grab it while you can, as well as the rest of my series content, where there's a lot of cool teams, a lot of fun Pokemon. For instance, you can go check out the Latios team that I featured a couple of episodes ago, and this Latios team was originally based off that team, so why not go check it out in the rest of my content. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.